One more set of questions in. We now recognize the chairman of the full committee from Kentucky, Mr. Guthrie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. And I want to start with experts, including the Congressional Budget Office, estimated that the expiration of the temporary Obamacare enhanced COVID credit is projected to increase premiums by anywhere from 4 and 8%, depending on the market. Yet in many areas for 2026, insurers requested and were approved for premium increases of 30, 40, even 50%. So, Ms. Boudreau, you're in Kentucky, so the average Elevance Obamacare plan increased its premium by roughly 24%. To spot why Democrats would have the American people believe that temporary COVID credit does little to actually lower underlying Obamacare premiums, and the American taxpayers are footing the bill. So, Ms. Boudreau, by your best estimation, even if the Democrats' temporary COVID credits were extended, would Obamacare plan bids in my state of Kentucky increase or decrease between 2026 and 2025?
Well, thank you very much for the question, Congressman. You know, as we've shared, premiums reflect the underlying costs.
So they would have increased, right? I've only got 5 minutes, I'm sorry. So they would have increased regardless of the extended credits, correct?
The credits will give consumers
But they still
a break,
increase.
but the overall costs are still driven by underlying root causes.
So let's talk about the overall cost. So I want to, Obamacare costs are skyrocketing. The American people are holding the bag. But unfortunately, because the incentives have been so warped by the Democrats' policies, these affordability challenges are not just happening in Obamacare, but across all of healthcare markets. And so I want to focus on a particular incentive. And I would like to quickly go through a few questions for each of the CEOs, and I need a quick yes or no question. And does the medical loss ratio, or MLR, put in place by the Obamacare, does it cap the dollars that you can maintain at a percentage of the total amount of the premium payments your companies receive? Does the MLR cap what you can maintain based on the premium? Is that yes for everyone? It does. I mean, is it true that if the amount of your premiums go up, then the amount of dollars you can maintain, including profits, would actually increase? Yes or no? Yes, it would go up. So, and as in premiums increase, when your company's input costs like hospital reimbursements, provider payments, and drug costs increase. So the MLR policy also requires you to spend a set percentage of premiums on medical services. So, under the requirements of the MLR policy, the less that your companies contain the costs of health care, then the more your premiums increase, and that results in increase in your total profit potential. So then, the Obamacare MLR policy effectively, it's an incentive for your premiums to be higher because you're penalized when you try to curtail health costs. Is that true, yes or no? Start with Mr. Hemsley and we'll go down.
This is a very competitive marketplace. We compete based upon price and premiums. So it is very competitive, and premiums really reflect the actual cost of healthcare services. So
I know I got brief time, so we can let each one answer, please. I'm sorry.
So in our specific example, Congressman, we did not perform well in the exchange last year, so cost actually exceeded the premiums we collected. So regardless of the MLR, we underperformed and actually gave back money to the government.
Okay, so Ms. Boudreau?
The MLR, we're in a highly regulated environment. We have to, as you know, at least 80% of premiums, the majority go to medical costs. Our loss ratio in 24 was 88.5%, and in 2025, we did not make money in the individual exchange.
Mr. as well.
Mr. Chairman, we lost money in the exchange all but 2 years since 2014, so that phenomenon has not affected us favorably.
Mr. Markovich?
We've capped our profit at 2% for the last 15 years, so this doesn't matter.
So when you have an insurance business and you get limited on what you can recover, then it encourages you to vertical integrate so you can make profits other places. So if the costs are reflective of your premiums, then if you can capture those costs that you're paying out, then it gives you the opportunity. So Mr. Hemsley, UnitedHealth Group has pursued aggressive vertical integration since the passage of Obamacare. And you have the largest health insurance plan, one of the largest PBMs, and one of the largest employer of providers. And there's not a sector which you don't have a presence. So if competition helps healthcare, how do you explain the vertical integration? Does that encourage competition and cheaper? How do you explain the vertical integration and competition?
It really is very substantial value dynamic in terms of bringing a better care experience and more value to the healthcare environment in total. By better coordination of care across those spectrums, by better use of data, by more engagement in critical areas in healthcare, including how drugs are made available and integrated into therapies.
Thanks. My time has expired, so I apologize, and I will yield back to the chair.
I thank the gentleman for